I come in, sir.
Yes,
Good morning,
please.
sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, please have a seat,
Thank you,
Piyush.
sir.
Piyush, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Myself, Piyush Raj. I belong to Sitapur district of Uttar Pradesh. I have completed my schooling from Lucknow Public School from Sitapur itself. Thereafter, I completed my graduation from Gyanodaya Degree College from Lucknow. Further, I pursued my master's in history from IGNU. Apart from academics, I take keen interest in cooking, kitchen gardening, as well as in drawing. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So you belong to the state of Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Can you differentiate between the eastern region of Uttar Pradesh and western region of Uttar Pradesh?
Yes, sir. So geographically also, if we take into account the rainfall is more in eastern Uttar Pradesh than in western Uttar Pradesh. As well as if economically we take the western Uttar Pradesh is more economically prosperous than eastern Uttar Pradesh because of the development of agriculture and its allied activities in western Uttar Pradesh. Sir. And the population density is more in western Uttar Pradesh than in eastern Uttar Pradesh. Sir.
Okay. And can you elaborate the economic structure of the state of Uttar Pradesh?
Yes, sir. The economic structure of Uttar Pradesh is basically agriculture driven, but the GDP constitutes from both primary, secondary, and tertiary activities, where tertiary activities account for around 50% of GDP. Sir, 15 to 20% of GDP is constituted from secondary activities, and the similar is with agriculture activities, sir.
Okay. So you told that tertiary activity constitutes around 50%.
Yes, sir.
Can you list out the major areas inside the tertiary sector?
Yes, sir. Presently, the tourism industry is at a highest point in contributing in tertiary sector. And thirdly, sir, the services such as education, etc., also contribute significantly in the economy.
Yeah, so tourism is increasing in Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
And more of religious tourism.
Yes, sir.
And recently there have been a lot of news about the VIP culture that
Yes.
we are witnessing. It's a problem of India. So how do you see this VIP culture?
Sir, as far as VIP culture is concerned, sir, the VIP culture percolates from the idea of supremacy, where some leaders or some persons who hold some authority, they ensure their major say in visiting any place, and they ensure that their well-being is taken into account. That is why this VIP culture is thriving all over India. Recently in Uttar Pradesh also, the VIP culture is being thriving, and major leaders as well as authoritative personalities are also involved in this.
And how can we overcome this problem?
Sir, at individual level, we need to take into account that people are equal before the law. That is what we can consider at individual level. Also, sir, administrative convenience should be taken into account. And people, general public as well as persons holding some authority should be treated equally. But sir, due to lapse of time or the authoritative persons holding some position and their work culture also demands that they should be given preferences over the general public. That is why, sir, this VIP culture is prominent.
Okay, so you are telling what should be. Everyone knows that these steps should be taken. Individuals should have this kind of attitude. But why it is not happening? What is the major issue?
So one reason which I could recall is that the prevalent idea of supremacy, what it is still prevalent in upper class as well as lower class people, which is continuing this culture. And secondly, sir, people believe that the persons holding authority are superior from them rather than believing them to be equal counterparts. So this is what I can recall.
Superior feel like we are superior, or the normal people feel that they are superior?
So normal people consider other authoritative persons to be superior, and that they treat them as such.
I slightly disagree with your view.
Okay, sir.
Why will normal people feel like they are inferior? They are made to feel.
Yes, sir. At one point, it can be said that they are made to feel, but at secondly, if they are accepting something, sir, that is also the.
So that means normal people are to be blamed.
Sir, looking at the this issue, the normal people as well as people holding some authority both should be blamed for it.
So what is the way out? Then should the normal people revolt?
Sir, revolt should not be the way out, but I think the policies with respect to equal treatment around the horizon should be taken into account, sir.
Right. So in the state of Uttar Pradesh, there have been many incidents last year, 2-3 incidents regarding the communal issues. Right. One of the incident was Sambhal incident. Um, and on the one hand, we have these kind of incidents going on where the state also seems to be one of the interested party. And on the other hand, we see the country like China, where these companies like DeepSeek, they are changing the way that technology is being dominated by Western countries. So, don't you think we are going wrong?
Sir, historically also Indian society has been very culturally significant. That is why this idea of cultural significance has been prevalent in Indian society. And taking China's case, the technological enhancement has been very manifold in China. That's why the alignment of industries as well as economies in that direction. Secondly, sir, if taking into account Indian population, if given time and circumstances as well as investment in the youth and technological enhancement, then sir, this problem can be solved as well as a way forward can be further initiated.
We are having the topmost manpower. Even the tech giants of the world, they are being led by the Indian CEOs, Indian techies. So what is missing in India that we are not able to build such AI-based platforms?
Sir, at present, I think the infrastructural facilities with respect to development of technology are missing in India. And secondly, sir, the skilled as well as semi-skilled workforce is also lagging. But sir, the minimum chunk which is skilled at large is going abroad because the policies which are made in India are not that conducive, which enhance the research and development and technological enhancement. That is why, sir, we are lagging behind technology.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, so we'll take the discussion from there only.
Okay.
So there have been so many service-based companies in India, and there are very less product-based startups in India. Can you elaborate the reasons for these?
Ma'am, the development of service sector has been manifold in India. For example, ma'am, the tourism industry is one such area, and health and education, etc. These services have developed manifold. Ma'am, the reasons for their development is sudden upliftment of the population with respect to education as well as skilling. And also, ma'am, the globalization has played a very significant role, which connected the globe and creating a global village. That is why the service sector has scaled up.
Okay, why are we not innovating? We already have government missions for innovation. Can you remember any one product which you think that this is a very good innovation and we can take it to the world?
Ma'am, neglecting that India is not innovating at all would be wrong to say. But in recent years, we can see that scientifically also we are enhancing at large because our space missions are one of the global leading sectors. So innovation in the space sector is one such area where India is leading, ma'am. Also, ma'am, there should be government policies which should cater the ideas as well as innovations of the people at ground level also, so that a comprehensive strategy could be built so that the service sector can be taken.
What are the government policies that are available in, let's say, USA or China? So they are innovating a lot of products which are being commercialized, and what is missing in India?
Ma'am, in USA and China, like countries, the private investment is at large, which led to the growth of innovation sector. And in India, ma'am, the public-private partnership is not that strong. That is why India is lagging in innovation. And if the incentives like ease of doing business can be enhanced in India, then innovation sector can be, ma'am, enhanced.
Okay. Why are we not receiving that much private investment for innovation?
Ma'am, it is due to the regulatory measures which are taken by the government with respect to investment as well as with respect to research and development. That is why the innovation and private investment in this sector is missing, ma'am.
So basically, you want to say is that regulatory measures are an obstacle to research and development for innovation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Don't you think that we don't have that bent of mind to innovate? We just want jobs which can pay us steadily. We have a definite income and we don't want to innovate. We don't want to take risk.
That would go in a negative sense, ma'am, if we take into account the Indian population. The people here in India are also innovative and they can compete with global economy. But ma'am, at present, due to large number of people being unemployed, they are primarily searching for a job to settle. And if given time and circumstances, as well as the incentives, for example, financial incentives as well as skilling incentives, then ma'am, I think innovation sector can be developed, ma'am.
Even elite people are taking jobs and they also want those jobs or those businesses which give a lot of money and not focusing on R&D. What you will say about this?
Yes, ma'am, that is one sector where we are lagging behind. I think that should be prioritized, where government as well as private sector should come and collaborate and develop initiatives for research and development, ma'am.
Okay. You have kitchen gardening as your hobby.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that it is a step towards self-sufficiency or it is just a lifestyle trend?
Ma'am, initially, if kitchen gardening is to be taken, it is a lifestyle trend where people grow veggies as well as herbs in their home. But ma'am, if taken at a broader perspective, then it can be an initiative where we can lead, or we can be a more sustainable and develop a global community which is more sustainable with respect to lifestyle as well.
What do you think is the most important or the significant thing in kitchen gardening with respect to climate change?
There are various things which can be taken into account. For example, the use of fertilizers which we do in kitchen gardening, and secondly, ma'am, the techniques which we inquire. For example, the irrigation techniques, etc. They are also helpful, as well as the plants which we plant. For example, a water intensive plant will consume more water, and that will be another step towards reducing the economic output, as well as environmental output. So these are the areas where we need to consider with respect to kitchen gardening.
Don't you think that the carbon footprint of the logistics of bringing the food to your home is completely eliminated in kitchen gardening? So that is one of the important aspect.
Yes, ma'am, that could be one of the aspects, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. In climate change, we want to move towards net zero. Yet, the government is not imposing a ban on firecrackers. Why do you think government is not imposing ban on firecrackers?
Ma'am, one reason can be the large scale employment given to the local people, which would be unemployed if the ban would be taken into account. Secondly, ma'am, financial benefits to the government are also at stake. And thirdly, ma'am, so these are the two reasons which I could recall, ma'am. But government is taking proactive measures. For example, banning firecrackers at some instances where the large scale involvement of firecrackers, for example, at various events as well as in festivals, is taken. Their ban is temporary ban is done, so that the reduction in carbon dioxide emissions or other harmful gases emissions is considered now.
Do you think the ban that government is putting is really an effective ban? And the second thing is, you answered that government is not banning because of economic advantage from the firecrackers. Don't you think the impact of firecrackers is much more, and the impact that government will have, because then government will not have to work towards air pollution and all these things, or let's say will have to invest less on health management, so that cost will be much less and it will cost government a little less.
Yes, ma'am, that is one aspect to look into. But, ma'am, the environmental pollution is also caused by other events. For example, the non-sustainable activities in industrial sectors, in agriculture, other sectors also, the environmental pollution is caused, ma'am. But in firecrackers, the government is taking proactive measures to promote the green firecrackers. So this is one step towards a green climate, and that is why government is not banning it, rather rather developing technologies towards a green climate, ma'am. That is one step government is taking.
Okay. Sir,
Piyush, you are from UP.
Yes, sir.
Historically, if you see, Pataliputra, one of the great power center in ancient times. Kanauj is near to Lucknow.
Yes, sir.
It was one of the most powerful center in medieval time period, early medieval time period.
Yes, sir.
And now Delhi also is the most powerful one. Do you see any kind of reason why historically the Gangetic belt is powerful?
So historically, the Ganga Yamuna Doab region have been a very fertile region, and the civilizations thrived around the banks of these rivers. That is why the power centers were located along the this region, sir.
Okay, very good. Now, presently, these are the regions, if we compare health indicators or developmental indicators, are poor in terms of in comparison with the southern states. Why do you think?
So reasons can be traced from the history itself. Due to thriving civilizations along the river banks, the population has been very high in these regions, and due to gradual increase in population, but not gradual management of the population policies was one reason why these uncontrolled growth has taken into account, sir. That is why the northern cities are not as developed as the southern cities.
Okay, you mean to say more population is one of the reasons for lack of development.
Yes, sir.
But what is the meaning of demographic dividend? Having more population is a benefit for the country?
Yes, sir. Demographic dividend means the more number of working age people which can contribute in the economic as well as socio-cultural realms, sir. But sir, only population cannot be blamed for not taking development taking at that place. Other factors also contribute. For example, the policies as well as the infrastructure facilities, etc. So these, if taken into account, can contribute economically as well as socio-culturally, and then sort of holistic development can be ensured.
Okay, currently unemployment is also increasing.
Yes, sir.
So what kind of steps you suggest?
So primarily, I think the people should be provided with incentives so that they can get a proper employment at a basic level, and further, sir, skill enhancement can be done, which will cope up the industry demand so that appropriate jobs can be created. And thirdly, sir, incentives could be taken into industrial development as well as manufacturing sectors so that large population can be sucked into those sectors, as well as people can be incentivized for entrepreneurial skills also so that they can withstand their own business and create job opportunities for other people also.
So currently are the governments of states as well as central government, are they not taking any steps to improve whatever you are saying?
Yes, sir, they are taking steps. For example, Skill India program, Make in India program. But, sir, at ground level, if we look, these policies are not bearing fruits due to lack of connect between the government and the general public. So, if this gap is bridged, then I think the fruits can be bared at large, sir.
Why do you think there is such a gap?
Sir, due to the lack of awareness among the people, as well as due to lack of reach from government side also is one reason. And secondly, sir, government is taking technological initiatives, for example digitalization, but at ground level people are not digitally tech savvy. That is why the connect is being there, and the disconnect is there. If we bridge this gap, then sir, the development can be taken.
Okay. Coming to Lucknow, in 1857 it is one of the major revolt center.
Yes, sir.
Can you highlight some of the issues or contribution of Lucknow to 1857 revolt?
So 1857 revolt from Lucknow was led by Begum Hazrat Mahal. The Britishers were trying to occupy the Awadh region. That is why the people revolted against them. Sir, secondly, the large number of people from Awadh were deployed in the army of the Britishers, for British East India Company, but the incentives as such were not given to them. That is why people in army level also revolted against the Britishers, sir.
Was 1857 revolt successful?
Sir, 1857 revolt was sporadic as well as very localized, but at large level, if we look, it was a fire which ignited the idea of nationalism among the people, which culminated into the national revolt of Indian national movement, and which ultimately led to the independence in 1947. Sir.
So was it successful in 1857? Or were we able to overthrow British Raj?
Sir, it was the initial step towards overthrowing the British government.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So will you say it is successful or failure?
Sir, it was a success to some extent.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But at large, if we take into account, it was an igniting step towards a major political as well as revolting events, sir.
So what could be the reasons why 1857 rebels could not overthrow the British Raj? Why it had taken till 1947?
So one such reason was that localized nature of the revolt, where local peoples revolted against their local demands. There was not any nationalized demand. That is why the Britishers were strong, as well as local people were defeated in their own territories.
Why do you think there was no such kind of nationalized demand?
Sir, it was due to the local reasons I could recall at present. Sir.
All right then. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Piyush, last question. Recently in Makum there has been stampede.
Yes, sir.
What do you think is the reason, despite so much preparation, use of technology, and already the event was well planned? In 1954 there was a stampede, and again there is a stampede after 70 years. So what is missing?
Sir, two reasons can be cited for this stampede. One is the administrative disconnect. Second is the upsurge of devotees at large on one place. So these two reasons culminated, and this stampede occurred. So this is the reason, sir.
Can you explain administrative disconnect?
Sir, it was due to the lack of management, crowd management policies as well as the steps, due to which the larger crowd gathered at one place. Instead of dissipating those large people, the panic occurred in the local people. That is why this occurred, sir.
Everyone knows whatever you are saying is very, very simple. So, like, that is quite visible that administration has failed in its duty. But what is missing? That is my question. What is the fundamental reason why we are not able to stop such kind of incidents despite so much planning, so much infrastructure, resources, technology, willingness, everything is there?
Sir, I think the diversion of large population at one place is one reason due to which where we are lagging behind. Sir, if a proper channelization of people can be ensured, then such incidences can be avoided. And sir, the facilities of various bathing ghats were made, but people were keen on bathing at one place. That is the reason why this stampede occurred, sir.
Okay, fine. Piyush, your interview is completed.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so now we will give the feedback.
Okay.
First of all, आपका इंटरव्यू कब है?
14th Feb.
14th Feb को. तो first of all, आपके communication skills are good. While greeting, you greeted only one person.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but probably आपने one person को verbally किया था, and rest of the people. But I did not get your communication.
Okay, sir.
I was looking at you, but I did not get your communication.
Okay.
So just see if it is okay or not for you, है ना? वीडियो में एक बार देख लीजिएगा.
Okay, sir.
Communication wise you are fine in terms of language fluency, everything fine. लेकिन एक point है कि जो आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है, you are too much in hurry in giving the answer, and you give the answer, but you give the answer at the end. और यू गिव द आंसर आफ्टर प्रोबिंग टू मच इनटू इट।
Okay, sir.
जब आपसे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है तब आप फर्स्ट वाले क्वेश्चन का आंसर देते हो, है ना। सो फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन तो आपके ठीक है मोटा मोटी, लेकिन जो ओपिनियन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है वहाँ पर थोड़ा सा आप चीज़ों को और स्ट्रीमलाइन कीजिए अपने पॉइंट्स को। जैसे एक क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछा था कल्चर ऑफ वीआईपी, है ना, तो आपने एक पॉइंट पकड़ लिया कि सुप्रीमेसी वाला आइडिया, है ना, वो तो आइडिया लेवल पे हो गया। प्रैक्टिकली क्या मिसिंग है? पॉलिटिकल विलिंगनेस, है ना। पॉलिटिकल लेवल पर पॉलिटिकल विलिंगनेस मिसिंग है। एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लेवल पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट है कि रेड लाइट नहीं होनी चाहिए व्हीकल्स पर, लेकिन एक छोटा सा लूप होल उन्होंने छोड़ दिया कि इमरजेंसी वाले केस में हो सकता है, बट वी आर ओवर यूजिंग इट। एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन उसको मिसयूज कर रहा है, इमरजेंसी के नाम पे वो सबको लाल बत्ती यूज करने दे रहे हैं वो, है ना। तो वी नीड मोर इलाबोरेटिव रूल्स एंड एक्शन अगेंस्ट द डिफॉल्टर्स। सो पॉलिटिकल विलिंगनेस एंड एनफोर्समेंट, दीज टू थिंग्स आर मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट। और अगर हम ये बोलें कि लोगों को ब्लेम करना कहाँ, लोगों ने तो चुन के भेज दिया ना पॉलिटिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को। लोग थोड़ी, फिर लोगों के पास में क्या चॉइस बची है? या तो वो जाके पॉलिटिक्स में लड़ें या तो रिवोल्ट करें। तो लोगों को ब्लेम करने से क्या होगा? आर यू गेटिंग? मतलब आपके आंसर सॉल्यूशन ओरिएंटेड होने चाहिए। उसी तरह से जैसे कल्चर ऑफ वीआईपी के अलावा, जैसे लास्ट वाला क्वेश्चन स्टैम्पीड वाला आपसे पूछा, तो उसमें फर्स्ट टाइम में आपने आंसर बहुत जनरलाइज आंसर दिया। वो सबको पता है कि यार भीड़ थी, सबको पता है कि एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फेलियर है। उसमें जो मेन रीजन था वो आपने सेकंड आंसर जब मैंने अप्रूव किया तब आपने आंसर बताया कि जो भीड़ को सही से चैनलाइज नहीं किया था उन लोगों ने, तो ये एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फेलियर है। और यहाँ पर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर उन्होंने क्रिएट तो किया है, लेकिन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बारे में परसेप्शन क्रिएट नहीं की, राइट परसेप्शन क्रिएट नहीं की। जैसे कि वहाँ पे सभी लोगों ने बोला कि आप सिर्फ संगम नोस पे मत जाइए, यू गोल ऑन द बाग्स घाट्स, है ना। लेकिन उसको उन्होंने मेंटल लेवल पे कहाँ उसको उन्होंने एनफोर्स किया? क्या मिनिस्टर्स अदर घाट्स पे जाके नहाए? क्या साधु लोग अदर घाट्स पे जाके नहाए? परसेप्शन तो चेंज किया नहीं। हर कोई प्रयागराज में क्यों जा रहा है? त्रिवेणी कहाँ पर है? एक ही जगह पर है। तो आप कितना भी बोल लो कि भाई आप 12 किलोमीटर में जाके नहाओ, हर जगह सेम ही चीज़ है, तो कौन क्यों मानेगा? मैं तो नहीं मानूंगा। जब तक वहाँ पर जाकर के जो रिलीजियस लीडर्स हैं, पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स हैं, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लीडर्स हैं, वो सब लोग तो नहा रहे हैं संगम नोस पर, सारे वीआईपी संगम नोस पर नहा रहे हैं, और आप जनता को कह रहे हो कि भाई आप कहीं भी नहाओ 12 किलोमीटर में। तो ये परसेप्शन, मतलब ये स्ट्रेटेजिक फेलियर है। इट्स ए स्ट्रेटेजिक फेलियर कि आप कहने से नहीं, आपको लीड में एग्जाम्पल करना है। जाके चीफ मिनिस्टर सब जगह नहाए, सारे घाटों में नहाए, एक दिन यहाँ पे नहाए, एक दिन वहाँ पे नहाए, तो सब लोग भी जाएंगे, फिर साधु लोग इधर उधर नहाए। आर यू गेटिंग? सो ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाइज, टेक्नोलॉजी वाइज किसी भी तरह से हम इसे कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते जब तक कि लोग खुद से चैनलाइज ना हो। क्योंकि लोग प्रयागराज में आ ही क्यों रहे हैं? बिकॉज ऑफ त्रिवेणी की जगह पर है। तो थोड़ा सा आपको रूट पे जाना पड़ेगा। अगर आप सरफेस वाले आंसर दोगे तो वो आपको कुछ एज नहीं देने वाले, मार्क्स जनरली रहने वाले हैं। ठीक है, तो कोई भी इशू अगर आपका है तो उसकी रूट पे जाइए। व्हाट इज इन द रूट? थोड़ी डिबेट सुनिए, एनालिसिस थोड़ा सा कीजिए उसको, स्पेशली जो आपके खुद के आपके डेफ से संबंधित इश्यूज हैं। यूपी आपके डेफ में है, तो यूपी तो बहुत ज़्यादा आजकल हॉट न्यूज़ में है, उस समय में भी रहेगा, क्योंकि 14th को आपका ये है, 15th को आई थिंक एक और स्नान होने वाला है। तो इससे संबंधित आपको थोड़ा सा एक डीप अंडरस्टैंडिंग होनी चाहिए। और जो एआई वाला क्वेश्चन था मेरा, वहाँ पर आप आए गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी के ऊपर। गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी तो है, लेकिन फंडिंग नहीं है। R&D एक्सपेंडिचर जो है वो इंडिया में बहुत कम है। हमारा जो R&D एक्सपेंडिचर है और चाइना और यूएसए का, उसमें काफ़ी ज़्यादा डिफरेंस है, बोथ एट द पब्लिक सेक्टर लेवल, एट द प्राइवेट सेक्टर लेवल, है ना। तो एक तो है फंडिंग इज़ अ मेजर रीज़न जो कि नहीं आ रही है, ठीक है। और सेकंड है कि हमारी जो मार्केट है वो ओपन मार्केट है एज कम्पेयर टू चाइना। चाइना का मैंने वहाँ पर आपको एग्जांपल दिया था कि डीप सीक वहाँ पर क्यों डेवलप हो पाया, क्योंकि वहाँ पर एक्सक्लूसिविटी है। वो अदर पार्टिसिपेंट्स को लाइक अगर उनका डीप सीक चल गया तो वो सब मना कर देंगे, सारी AI को वहाँ पर बैन कर देंगे इंडिया चाइना में। तो वहाँ पर एक मोटिवेशन है कि अगर कोई इन्वेस्ट करेगा तो उसके इन्वेस्टमेंट को उसको बिजनेस मॉडल में कन्वर्ट करके प्रॉफिट क्रिएट कर सकता है वो, लेकिन इंडिया में ऐसा नहीं है। हम लोग को ऐसा, अगर यहाँ पर हमारा कोई एआई मॉडल कामयाब होता है तो जो फॉरेन कंट्री के एआई मॉडल्स हैं वो डोमिनेट करेंगे, क्योंकि वो हमसे पहले आए हैं और कहीं ना कहीं इनिशियली कॉस्ट फ्रेंडली वो ज़्यादा हो सकते हैं टू द कस्टमर, और हमारी गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट नहीं करेगी हमारे स्टार्टअप को, तो हमारा स्टार्टअप डाई हो जाएगा। ये कुछ थोड़ा फंडामेंटल लेवल पे आप देख सकते हैं, ठीक है।
हाँ, जो आपके आंसर्स आ रहे हैं ना, तो उसमें एक चीज़ है कि यू आर डिफेंडिंग टू मच, गवर्नमेंट को बहुत ज़्यादा डिफेंड कर रहे हैं और पब्लिक पे बार बार आप ब्लेम डाल रहे हैं, है ना। तो आप ये चीज़ ऑब्जर्व करिए अपने आंसर में कि इसको बैलेंस रखिए, ठीक है। वैसे तो जो भी आपसे ओपिनियन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं वो किसी ना किसी प्रॉब्लम के बारे में, तो प्रॉब्लम को एक्नॉलेज करिए। जो सर बोल रहे हैं ना कि जनरल चीज़ें आ रही हैं, तो एग्जैक्ट प्रॉब्लम क्या है ये नहीं आ रहा, चाहे फायर क्रैकर्स वाला हो या फिर इनोवेशन से रिलेटेड हो, तो इंडिया में एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम क्या है। वो तो फंडिंग कम है, वो तो बात है, लेकिन फंडिंग तो किसी एक वजह से आती है ना। वो फंडिंग क्यों नहीं आ रही? क्योंकि पता है उनको कि वो साइंटिफिक हमारा बेंट है ही नहीं, है ना। तो वो सारी चीज़ें हैं, आप उस प्रॉब्लम पे नहीं आ रहे, आप हमेशा बीच में गवर्नमेंट को ले आ रहे हो कि गवर्नमेंट कर रही है। तो ऐसा नहीं है ना कि जितना गवर्नमेंट कर रही है वो भी बहुत लेट कर रही है। अभी आप देखो रिसेंटली एआई मिशन चालू हुआ है, 8,000 करोड़ रुपीस डाले गए, है ना, 2-3 इयर्स बैक। तब तक तो सबके मॉडल बन के तैयार हो चुके थे, सिर्फ मार्केट में लॉन्च करना ही बचा था, है ना। तो हम लेट भी आ रहे हैं, हम कम फंड भी डाल रहे हैं, और हम तब चालू करते हैं जब ऑलरेडी टेक्नोलॉजी सब जगह प्रेवलेंट हो जाती है। तो इतने पीछे हम चल क्यों रहे हैं? हम क्यों नहीं फोरकास्ट कर पा रहे चीज़ों को, है ना। तो इसके बारे में ध्यान दीजिए, है ना, कि डोंट पुट टू मच ब्लेम ऑन द पब्लिक, ठीक है। क्योंकि पब्लिक को किसी भी चीज़ की अवेयरनेस दिलाना, पब्लिक में परसेप्शन चेंज करना, पब्लिक में कल्चर चेंज करना, ये भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की जिम्मेदारी होती है। आपको पता है ना, हर स्कीम में आईईसी का कंपोनेंट होता है, इंफॉर्मेशन एजुकेशन कम्युनिकेशन का, है ना। तो अवेयर भी हम ही कराएंगे, डिमांड भी उनसे हम ही क्रिएट कराएंगे, और फिर अकाउंटेबल भी हम ही होंगे, है ना। इट इज़ दैट काइंड ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। वो ब्लेम नहीं है कि इतना तो कर लिया अब तुम्हें नहीं पता, है ना, ये नहीं कर सकते। तो ओनली दैट इज़ द थिंग। अदरवाइज कम्युनिकेशन तो बहुत ही अच्छा है। अगर इस कम्युनिकेशन में रैशनल आंसर पॉइंट टू पॉइंट आ जाए तो बहुत ही अच्छा लगेगा, बट वो आ नहीं रहा, है ना। तो एंड दैट कैन बी बिल्ट, वो प्रैक्टिस से आ जाएगा। कुछ मेजर इश्यूज ले लीजिए, वो प्रॉब्लम्स जो हैं उनको पिन पॉइंट कर लीजिए, एंड देन यू कैन डिलीवर वेल। सो दैट इज द थिंग। ओके,
According to this 1857 revolt, you could not bring the real factors. In the immediate context, it was a failure, but in the long term, it was a successful. That point you have made. But when I asked about what are the factors for the failure in the immediate sense, you told like lack of nationalism, lack of unity between rebels and the princely states. Princely states themselves supported British,
Yes.
and that's why many rebels were caught within the princely states and handed over to British. That's one. And there are certain terms which you can change. You are using the term like wrong. It is wrong. Instead, you can use that it is incorrect while you are saying. And also, instead of using the blame, you can say like both VIPs as well as common should be blamed. Instead of that, you can say both can take the responsibility. Both are responsible. So that terminology will give somewhat positive twist instead of going in a completely negative sense. Board may ask you those terms, but when you are answering, you change those terms.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Some of the questions were very good. It was very interactive also. You have very good communication skills. In some questions, it was really good. Okay. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
So I think you were expecting questions on optional.
Yes, sir.
We got communication very late from the team. So anything else you want to ask?
Sir, how to prepare these burning events at
डिबेट सुनो, कुछ 2-3 मतलब कोई चैनल्स फॉलो करो और डिबेट्स सुनो, क्योंकि जो डिबेट्स होते हैं वहाँ पर इस तरह की जो इन डेप्थ ओपिनियन वो निकल के आती हैं, जो भी फंडामेंटल इश्यूज हैं। क्योंकि आपका जो इंटरव्यू है वो ऐसे समय पे पड़ रहा है कि उसके बाद में वो इशू बेस्ड क्वेश्चन ज़्यादा पूछते हैं,
yes, sir.
करंट अफेयर्स बेस्ड, इशू बेस्ड। तो डेली बेसिस पर आप डिबेट सुनिए, अच्छी क्वालिटी की डिबेट्स, वहाँ से अपने पॉइंट्स को बिल्ड डाउन कीजिए। जो ऑब्वियस है वो तो सबको पता है, उसमें कोई मतलब वो उस चीज़ के लिए पूछ ही नहीं रहे आपसे.
And so with respect to optional, what kind of questions I may expect?
Sir, geography optional kind of questions.
Optional geography?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can then you could have answered very well the geographical, the reason why Gangetic Valley, Ganga Yamuna Doab is one of the most powerful one throughout the history. The kind of economic activities in ancient times and medieval times, agriculture based.
Yes.
Now the nature of agriculture changed, industries and service sector increased. Separately, you may not have any kind of separate questions on geography optional, but that is how they used to bring. How can you use, one basic question is, how can you use your geographical knowledge in administration? If you are made district magistrate of Rajasthan area, for example, how can you utilize your geographical knowledge in administration? Can you give like one answer? Can you briefly explain how your geographical knowledge will help in the administration if you are made a DM in Rajasthan area?
Yes, sir. In Rajasthan area, I think the problem of water scarcity is there, and due to the terrain of Rajasthan, we should ensure the availability of water to the general public, as well as the development of agriculture on that basis. And sir, for developmental basis concerns, we can also have water harvesting techniques as are prevalent traditionally in the region. The rainwater harvesting and tank system which was developed in Rajasthan, that can be promoted so that availability of water can be enhanced, sir.
Okay, water angle, very good.
Yes.
Is there any other angle apart from water?
Sir, geographically, I think the development of infrastructure like roads, etc. is not.
What about any mineral?
Yes, and minerally, Rajasthan is very rich in copper and aluminium, etc.
Mhm.
So that can be made an incentive for the industrial development and manufacturing sector. So that can be leveraged for economic development.
What about tourism? Just you
Yes.
think like economic geography.
Yes, sir.
You will get so many points. Agriculture you can use, industries, tourism, service sector. All right. In that way you can use, and something related to space also. Nowadays, space tourism and importance of space technologies in the present day context, and why India is able to, in terms of space technology, India is advanced, but in terms of other technologies, we are not able to do. What was the reason?
So one thing is technological know-how with respect to space technology and as well as with other sectors. For example, in manufacturing sector, and the other is sir, incentivizing financial incentives in manufacturing sector are not that proactive. So development of easy technology in space sector is one such area, and the innovation is there in space sector. That is why it is advanced, I think.
Okay, and some questions like climate change, global warming, these questions may come geography related.
With respect to sir, the statistics part, like the thoughts and perspectives part in human geography, how deeply I should
Actually,
prepare for that?
board may not ask, because unless geography optional board member is there, otherwise generally they try to apply your knowledge in the administration.
Because in one interview I was asked about one specific geographer and his philosophy, his theory. So I could not recall at that point, though I had read about it,
Okay,
but I could not
then
recall
you
at
will
that
just
point.
maintain some important geographers and few points,
Yes.
You can revise your own study
your own
material.
notes.
If it is from your syllabus, then it is fine. But if it is not from the syllabus, then even if they're asking the question, it is not expected that you should answer very well. Because geography is never ending. Na? You have just read the optional.
Yes, sir. There
You
are
not-
many thinkers in geography.
Yes,
so
yes, yes. So you should politely say, sir, I have limited knowledge. I will update myself. Now you have to acknowledge that you cannot be the scholar of geography just by reading optional. आपके ऑप्शनल के जितना डोमेन है उसको अच्छे से कर लीजिए, और एप्लीकेशन पार्ट को एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में उसको इकोनॉमी से लिंक कीजिए. जैसे आपने यूपी का आंसर दिया, तो यूपी के आंसर में मुझे ज्योग्राफी वाला आपका हिंट लगा था, बट इट वाज अगेन नॉट वेरी कन्विंसिंग. जैसे आपने फर्स्ट आपने बताया कि ईस्टर्न रीजन में यहाँ पर एग्रीकल्चर सॉइल अच्छी है, फर्टिलिटी अच्छी है और
रेनफॉल
हाँ
ज़्यादा होती है उधर।
हाँ रेनफॉल
ज़्यादा।
ज़्यादा होती है। तो वो फिर आपने सेकंड में बताया था कि वेस्टर्न में यहाँ पर पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी है, तो आपके जोग्राफिकल टच आ रहा था, लेकिन वहाँ से कुछ मतलब उसको थोड़ा सा और आप डिफाइन कर सकते हैं, है ना। बाकी कम्युनिकेशन आपका बहुत अच्छा है, कम्युनिकेशन में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। तो आप मॉक अब देने की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं है आपको, एक आध मॉक दे सकते हो अगर आप चाहो तो। कम्युनिकेशन में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, सिर्फ आपको थोड़ा अपना नॉलेज बेस को और स्ट्रॉन्ग कर सकते हो।
Yes.
ओपिनियन बेस्ड कुछ 50-100 इश्यूज़ को आइडेंटिफाई कर लीजिए और उस पर अच्छे अच्छे पॉइंट फाइंड आउट कर लीजिए।
Okay.
ये आपने कोई पीयर ग्रुप आपने बनाया होगा तो वहाँ पर डिस्कस कीजिए कुछ इस तरह के इश्यूज़ को।
Okay.
आपको थोड़ा डेप्थ में जाना है इश्यूज़ के, ताकि जैसे क्वेश्चन पूछे वैसे ही आप फर्स्ट पॉइंट आपका एकदम अच्छा आना चाहिए उसमें,
Yes, sir.
सो दैट कि बोर्ड इज इंटरेस्टेड टू फर्दर डिस्कस विद यू दिस थिंग्स। ठीक है,
Okay, sir.
You got excellent communication skills.
हाँ एक्सीलेंट कम्युनिकेशन,
So you can use that. If
Okay.
you directly hit the point, it would be wonderful.
हाँ वंडरफुल, यू विल गेट 200+। हाँ लिटरली कम्युनिकेशन इज वेरी गुड।
Thanks.
See, आप जोग्राफिकल थॉट में पूछ रहे हो ना,
Yes.
तो कुछ ऐसे होते हैं ना कि लाइक मैकेंडर पूछा है
Yes.
तो ये तो बनना ही चाहिए, बट अब कोई बहुत ही अंदर से थिंकर पूछा है तो वो नॉलेज आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है।
क्योंकि मैम देर आर वेरियस थ्योरीज, फॉर एग्जांपल डिटर्मिनिज्म, नियो डिटर्मिनिज्म, उसमें एक से ज़्यादा थिंकर्स हैं और किसी स्पेसिफिक का नाम लेके उन्होंने पूछा था, सो आई कुड नॉट रिकॉल एट दैट मोमेंट।
वो ज़रूरी नहीं है। डिटर्मिनिज्म, नियो डिटर्मिनिज्म का बेसिक कीवर्ड्स क्या है, की पॉइंट्स क्या है, उतना बहुत है, उतनी बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग होना बहुत है, बिकॉज नॉलेज आपकी ऑलरेडी टेस्ट हो चुकी है ना। तो वो आपको टेस्ट करना चाह रहे हैं कि अगर आपसे कुछ ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए जो आपके डोमेन का हो तो आप उसमें कितने ज़्यादा किस तरीके से रिएक्ट करते हो, है ना।
If you are not able to handle theoretical part, it's okay. But if you handle good in application part,
Yes.
then it will compensate.
Okay.
एटलीस्ट की इश्यूज़ में की प्रॉब्लम्स अगर आप बता पा रहे हो उतना भी बहुत है, बिकॉज सोल्यूशंस तो देखिए धीरे धीरे ही करके आते हैं। तो कम से कम प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे तो उतना भी पर्सनालिटी के बारे में बहुत कुछ दिखाता है, तो यू कैन फोकस देयर। ओके,
Thank you.
ऑल द बेस्ट।
Thank you,
All the
sir.
best.